Stand by. You're listening to the Naively Optimistic podcast with your hosts, Danny and Gary.
The ego is saying, what's happening here?
It's an opportunity for spiritual growth.
Do you still think the royal family were shape-shifting lizards?
Yes, I do.
Give it up for the lads too fucking shy talking spaz. Run them up, bit as fuck on down on all your dads. Burning ears off for that cheese, bring all Dublin down to its knees. This podcast fucking shy, tell me where else would you be? So sit back, like relax, have a drink, lose the cax, and take in all the cack that comes out of these scaldy rats. Us!
What are you doing, stepdad?
What are you doing,
It's
stepbrother?
outrage. What are you doing, grandpa?
Oh, it's
I love it, mate.
it's disgusting. Ew.
Fucking gas.
What's I know because this is gonna be a bit controversial, but in Italy they're very open with kind of getting with cousins.
Yeah, oh, interesting.
Now very close.
That's the next holiday booked.
And actually, this is funny. I was reading this
Yeah,
last week.
actually,
with incest
yeah.
laws in Italy. Now, incest is only illegal if it causes a media scandal.
Fuck off.
That's it. That's 100% truth. Now,
Madness.
in most countries in the world, it's fully legal.
Mm-hmm.
Fully illegal. Sorry. Don't know about the carry on down West Cork, but in Italy is I think the only country in the world it's legal unless it causes a media scandal.
Oh my days, that is madness.
Now
How
I
do you-
don't know if this extends to just mother to
Yeah,
I don't
yeah.
know how close this goes, but this is if you look it up, you can have a look at Wikipedia.
Pull that up, Jamie.
Pull that up.
And your dad, I believe, and
What is your
you
dad?
have an interesting little family tree, don't you?
How so?
In that, like your dad and his brother,
Yes, my dad and his brother.
the Italian in him, about to come out.
Yep. My dad and his brother got married to my mom's sister. Now, that sounds incest, and I wish it was, but it isn't. It'd be a funnier story to bring
Because
up.
you said to me when you were talking about your cousin Mario, this is how I found out anyway. You were saying one day, like, me and my cousin Mario are like super first cousins. Like, you had some outrageous had you just
Super
described
Mario,
that.
super
Yeah.
cousin,
What was it again?
double first cousins.
That was it. Yeah.
Because we're cousins on my mom's side and my dad's side. Now, you can work that out. If you need to get a pen and paper, join the dots. It's not incest.
Yeah,
It's very much legal.
sounds like incest.
No media scandal. It's fully legal, fully in the pants. Nothing wrong with that at all.
That is fucked up, mate.
I know.
Like, it's mad. Like, when you were actually telling me that, I was just like, I can't wrap my head around that.
Yep.
And look, fair play to them, I guess. Like, your dad and his brother came over here taking no prisoners.
No, they really
Just
did.
went straight for the sisters.
Well, they took 2 prisoners.
Yeah. Absolute dons, mate.
Yeah. Speaking of fucked up, we have an interesting one today.
Yeah, go on. You can announce her.
Yeah, well, young Charlie, well, old
Master
Charlie,
Manson.
Master Manson. Now, this is something that I can happily say that Gary knows more about. I don't know if that lets us know that Gary's more.
I am
fucked up.
literally the fucking authority on Charles
Actually,
Manson.
let people know about this. Is
Yeah.
outrageous. What kind of a project.
He's me dad.
that.
No, actually, I was only thinking of earlier, actually, because Charles actually does have many kids out in the wider world, yeah. And isn't it so unfortunate that they have such a unique second name like Manson? So, like, it's not even like their second name is Brady or something like that, and they could slip through the net. Like, if they're
Are there not many
anywhere...
Mansons?
What?
Are there not many Mansons? No.
Well, I don't think so. Like, it'd be a fairly unique name, like, and he has a good few kids. I'm fairly certain he has about definitely 6 known kids anyway.
Jesus.
And
I actually,
God only
this
knows.
is complete news
Yeah,
to me.
but like, you know what's mad? Like, it's the same. Do you ever notice like any kind of like? I know he's technically not a killer, like, but like any of those like big famous killer, shall we say, or
Yes.
even like evil characters like Hitler, they always have like really unique second names.
They do.
To the point where it's inescapable.
Ted Bundy.
Exactly.
Like, whose
Can't just
second name
be
is Bundy?
O'Neill or the top.
No.
Yet.
Yes.
But like, you know, poor fucking, I don't even know, John Manson now going to get a bank loan down the
I
bank.
know,
He can be
it's
like, yeah, no worries, just a quick one, as in D Manson. And you think,
Relation, is it?
yeah,
Yeah. Fuck.
sadly.
Yeah.
It's fucking unlucky, isn't it? Same with Hitler.
Yeah, there's stories about him going to South America, wasn't there? Argentina and
We
stuff.
100% need to talk about that. Not now, obviously.
We're just going to turn
but
this into
that's-
a, like...
Yeah, Hitler. We're pivoting.
back online.
But we should definitely talk about the Hitler thing in Argentina, because that is another fucking
Yeah.
deadly
That's a
story.
few hours.
Yeah, I actually was flat out. Actually, did you ever watch Hunting Hitler?
No.
Deadly
History Channel.
show. just I know the slight deviation, but like it's fucking so good, mate. Right? You know Tim Kennedy from the UFC.
Yeah.
He is the fucking presenter of it.
Oh, what? How did you get into that?
It's fucking deadly. I can't describe how good it is. It's like, so the whole idea is it's Tim Kennedy, right? Ex UFC fighter, everyone listening, and ex fucking like army military bloke.
He's a monster.
He's a beast. So it's him and like 2 or 3 other people that are like specialised in certain fields, like, and then they kind of go out and explore this whole theory that Hitler, after World War II, got out of bunker essentially and made his way to Argentina. You're probably thinking how random was Argentina. It's not for the sun anyway. It's there's like a bizarrely high Nazi following in Argentina, like, and like South America in general was absolutely riddled with Nazi enthusiasts basically, and so that's where the whole story comes from. And there's like an obscene amount of evidence to suggest that he did. And in the show they unpack it basically and they explore it. But Tim Kennedy is it's made by the History Channel, so it's very dramatized.
It's very,
but in a funny way. Do you know what I mean? I like it, I enjoyed it, and but yeah, no, we definitely have to actually go back and do an episode.
We'll do it. We'll write that one down. Well, speaking of history, talk to me a little bit about Manson.
Yeah,
and,
so do you know actually how I
your
got
childhood
into it?
fantasies?
Yeah, it was Jack. You know, it was actually weird, right? I was in school, and then the history project was starting to everyone from Ireland. You know how fucking dreaded the fucking history writing project is.
Yeah, I didn't do history, thankfully.
Dort, mate. Like, honestly, it's like the actual, like, that's probably the most fun part of actually doing the project. But the actual history leaving cert paper is a massacre. Do you know what they're writing?
Right,
honest to
stuff,
God,
it's
like,
awful, yeah.
developed like carpal tunnel, like more intense than 8 sessions on fucking Hamster. Like, I was in a jock after it. Do you know what I mean? And but yeah, so my teacher comes to me and he's like, "Gary, any idea what you're gonna do for this project?" Like, I was having a fucking clue, to be honest with me. And verbatim, and he and he was like, I was watching a Charles Manson thing the other night, and I was thinking it could be an idea and to do for a project. And I was like, you know what, that's actually fucking half decent.
I don't have too much knowledge of history for leaving cert, but all I know is that to me even sounds outrageous. What's that outrageous to do?
It was actually fairly fun, to be honest. It was better doing that than Poxy. Like,
and did you have any like kind of prior inclinations towards
like,
Manson? Nothing.
Now, you know, I don't even think I really knew. I probably would have heard his name, because only people like
I'm kind of the same. Like, I know a little bit more about him now, but like
I'm just thinking like, I probably would have only heard his name because like people, like, you know, Dublin, like, people just throw like, yeah, man's a serious Charles Manson, isn't he? Like, just to talk someone, like, call someone a header, like, do you know what I mean? Just as a real Dublin thing to say, like, yeah, man's proper Charles Manson over there, do you know what I mean? That would have been the only time.
Dublin slice of the
It's fucking hysterical, isn't it? Like, you know what I mean? And half the time they don't know what they're fucking talking about.
Yeah.
And, but yeah, so I did the project anyway, and it was fucking deadly, man. It was like one of the more interesting projects, because even like all my mates were doing shy projects, like Night of Long Knives and all that bollocks, do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
And Snooze Fest, I was there laughing my head off, like, reading about Charles Manson and the hippie movement and all.
Crazy. Fucking crazy.
But yeah, no, I was supposed to kick things off.
A little bit into his background, I guess, childhood.
Yeah, he had a mad little childhood.
For anyone that doesn't know, who is Charles Manson?
Yeah, Charles Manson.
Give me a brief synopsis of Charles
Manson. A cult
Manson.
leader from the 60s who orchestrated the killings of Sharon Tate, who was like a famous Hollywood actress at the time. And then her kind of friends and family that were in the house with her that night. And then basically these like LaBianca family were like shopkeepers, like famous, like not famous, sorry, but like wealthy shop owners back in the day. So like upper class people.
This all very wealthy neighborhood.
Exactly, yeah. But long story short, so yeah, his fucking childhood was actually fairly mad. Like, yeah, we grew up, and his fucking ma tried to sell him and all a few times. Like, yeah,
tried to sell him.
Yeah, she was like she got knocked up by the fella anyway, and then your man bounced or something like that. And then she was a fucking alcohol rave maniac, and then she sold them for like literally like a 6-pack of beer or something like that. Like, that's I've actually been there myself, to be honest with you. My dad saw me for the kind of Stonehouse and 4 Blue Ghosts back in the day when I made me way back into his loving arms. Thanks, Dad. And but yeah, and so fucking he was in and out jail, like, and actually this is a bit weird, right? But like, when he was in jail, like, he was in like juvie, do you know what I mean? Like, the child.
And he was in and out of juvie.
Yeah, exactly.
Well,
and he was like, he had to be separated from like the main juvie place because he was like trying to rape all the younglets. Yeah, the fucking king. Absolute rascal, isn't he?
Fair play, getting his bit.
Yeah, absolutely, mate. There's no stopping him.
He got upgraded to a federal facility as far as I'm aware.
And he kept breaking out, like, what a don.
Kept breaking out, running away, and then coming back and stuff.
Fucking ledge.
One thing I remember hearing, which is crazy, at the age of 8, I think it was, his uncle said, "Don't go to school." and he tried to burn down the school.
Yeah.
So he took that one literally. But his mum was also a prostitute as far as I'm aware, and he was just brought up in a really, really bad environment. And obviously we know when it comes to criminals, environment is like background is everything, or at least a big part of the puzzle. But Manson did not have it great from an early age.
No, definitely not. And so look, grew up eventually, and fucking off he went to San Fran, and that's where the story really kicks off. So San Fran,
I heard he had he got a 10-year sentence for like he commits federal crimes hold way like higher jail times than just normal crimes. There's one federal crime like he forgot to cash some check or lodge some check. I don't even know the exact of it, but he got 10 years for that.
Fucking hell. Yeah. I'd well believe it.
At the age of 32, he'd spent over, I think, 16 years in
prison.
prison.
Yeah, that was another crazy fact. Like 50% basically of his life was spent in prison by the time he was.
That's like, actually, just imagine that for a second.
Yeah.
Whatever age you are now, like spending half of that, if not more, in prison.
Yeah.
And it wasn't just consecutive, so he came out and had this free time. It was in, out.
Yeah, he actually said, like, in his later life, like, when he got banged up, that he is, like, more comfortable in prison. Like, he was completely institutionalized. And but when he got out, like, he was he went off to San Fran. San Fran was like the epicenter basically of the hippie movement, free love, etc. And these people are very impressionable, like, and the whole Vietnam War and everything was going on at the time. So like he got there, and you know, actually funny enough, we got friends with, this is like one of these little facts of the day, you know, Brian Wilson from the Beach Boys.
Yes.
Yeah, he became very friendly with him.
He was very musical, wasn't he?
Yeah, well, he actually, interesting little side
Yeah,
story,
go
actually,
for it,
right?
go for it.
Charles Manson's music is on Spotify.
Yeah, no, I've listened to it before.
Have
It's
you?
not bad.
It's actually deadly, right?
Rip it out in the background now.
But back in the day when I used to work in the shop, right, with the lads used to have their Spotify signed in all the time.
And you'd whack on the charity.
And like, what's Frape? I suppose Sape would be the Spotify version.
Srape, yeah.
And I'd leg it on, and I'd like all the Charles Manson music. And I don't know if you can still do it on Spotify because I use Apple Music, but like, can you share songs on your Spotify profile? And it's almost like a status post in a way.
I don't know if you can.
Back in the day, you definitely could.
You can share them on the Facebook. You can share them onto different apps and stuff.
Because I used to share the Charles Manson songs, as a couple of lads, and I'd be saying like, oh, such an underrated artist, like the voice of a generation and all. Do you know what I mean? Like this, like just mad stuff like that. We had a Delhi song, like it was like, look at your game, girl. It was like absolute cracker. It was.
What a lad though, because he took his time in prison to learn guitar.
Yeah, exactly. And but he got friends with Brian Wilson, and actually, I don't know the song. I'll get a few later, right? But the Beach Boys actually have a song that Charles Manson wrote. Fun fact for you. So, and he was cracking up, he was. So, but they changed it. So they like changed a few lyrics and changed, I think, some of the musical aspects of it. But they released it, and he was going mad, and he sent Brian Wilson a bullet and all. He was like, "You're a dead man," and all, right? And he was trying to use Brian Wilson to essentially become famous, and Brian Wilson was like, "No, mate, look, sorry, like, you know, I showed the lads your music, and they're not liking it." And then he was going nuts, like, but, and then I think that's actually how he found out about like. He knew Sharon Tate lived in that gaff, because I think Brian Wilson used to live in that gaff.
Okay,
and he went up to the gaff to confront him one night, and she was there. I'm 90% sure that's how they actually had a physical like run in before he kind of orchestrated the killings. But
this is a very weird time frame. Just like for people who don't really know like what this was like the hippie movement was crazy. It was like no other. One of the big things that I guess that Manson is known for is hallucinogenics.
Yes.
And what's crazy about this, I have a little story about hallucinogenics myself. And Manson used LSD.
Yeah, LSD, and actually our friends, the magic mushrooms.
Yes.
Yeah, and acid as well, I think.
Yeah, acid.
Could be wrong with the acid,
LSD, acid, so
yeah.
pretty
But
much
like,
same,
so the thing about it is that he used hallucinogenics to basically mind control his cult. So like, he actually got a ranch which was like a couple of miles outside of San Fran, like in the middle of the bleeding desert, basically.
You got one in Death Valley.
Yeah, that's it. Yeah, and
which, by the way, is the hottest place on earth.
Crazy, yeah. And do you know his cult at one stage was up like nearly 100 members.
That's ridiculous.
You know what I mean? It's crazy.
They literally thought this guy was like Jesus.
Yeah, and they were like mostly birds as well.
Yeah.
And I mean girls, not pigeons. Like. But like, he had them all out at the ranch, and he was telling them mad stuff, like he was Jesus. He was also the devil, like incarnate in, you know, in one body basically. And did you ever hear about the Helter Skelter thing? Actually,
no.
The Helter Skelter thing is what actually was the
I heard a little bit about it. Yeah.
It was so Helter Skelter is a song with the Beatles, right? And he, whether he believed it or not, I don't know, maybe he was just fucked up, like, but he believed that the song was communicating to him a message that he needed to start a race war. Yes,
I actually did hear this.
And basically just going to start slaughtering black people, like. And but like spoke like emphatically to his followers about this is it. The Beatles are trying to tell us something. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
And they believed it obviously, and they believed he was like the fucking second coming, and that's what the crux of the whole killings was, because like when they went down and massacred the LaBianca family first, they like wrote on the walls in blood and all, going like helter skelter and all, pig war and all this shit.
And apparently at the ranch, the family could only listen to, I think it was Manson's music. I think it was also the Beach Boys and the Beatles, funnily enough.
Mad.
That's all they could listen to. That's all they're allowed, like intake, no information, no radio or anything.
Oh my god, really? That's mad. That's proper, like, I don't even know what that's like.
That's just conditioning, isn't it? That's just indoctrination at its finest.
Big time, yeah. Like, I felt bad as well.
He's a small guy, by the way.
Oh, he's tiny, 5'2".
The fact that he's indoctrinated these people, and even we'll get on to your man Tex West, and he was like his right hand man. This is a big, intimidating bloke
time.
who he completely just, I guess, indoctrinated and
He was
won
so
over.
articulate and stuff like that. Do you know what I mean he was able to just basically run rings around people?
Ridiculous, and like it's a real big sign of, I guess, psychopaths. Or
Massively, yeah. It's
the
crazy.
fact they're so good and emotionally manipulating people.
Yeah, but you know, that's when he was in prison at a younger age, like one of the, I don't know, I suppose like the officers within the prison,
They noticed that, didn't they?
yeah, they said that they were like, even from a young age, he was like super manipulative and whopper at getting his way and all, you know what I mean, more or less. And so it's just mad, isn't it? It's a trait that, it must be weird to see that trait in kids, because it's such a trait that you would assume is
It's
native
just-
to an older person who's amassed a certain amount of experience. So when you see a kid being
And
really super
you'd almost
manipulative,
like attach it just with high intelligence. You're like, oh, this kid is like, if you have a kid like that, maybe they're acting up a little bit. It's like, oh no, because they understand that they can articulate past authority.
Yeah.
Like they understand, oh, I don't have to do this because X, Y, and Z.
Yeah.
Just a smart kid. But you could, any parents out there, you could have a psychopath in your house.
yeah, 100%.
I know my parents did.
Did they? No way.
Me.
Yeah, no, I thought you meant freaking on, yes. It's going to be the Crumlin Ripper, they call you, don't they?
Crumlin Ripper,
Going out
yes.
and slaughtering mods. Fairness, anyone would run rings around you. If you were chasing them off that they were in, she'd maul you.
Yeah, that's true. That's true.
Easily, actually.
Yeah,
She'd
that's
put you
true.
on a full Nelson. But what was I saying to you there? Oh, yeah, the killings anyway. So he fucking... Yeah, he orchestrated the killings of the LaBianca family, and but that's a bit bad out about the fucking Tate family, or the Tate murder. Sure about that?
What about it exactly?
So, like, just the nature in which they were fucking killed. Like,
yeah, so he turned up. Well, we get back. We get a little bit into the hallucinogenics, I guess.
Yeah,
We
exactly.
talked about it.
Great fucking show.
But so he basically, I remember hearing one of the people, what's her name, Denise Van Outen, I think that's her name, is it? One of the family members who actually committed one of the murders, and she was talking about the acid and how he used it.
Interesting.
And what he'd do is he'd do things such as reenact the crucifixion.
Fuck off.
No, he'd reenact.
That is mental.
And they were saying, because like if you ever had it, like if anyone's out there who's had a psychedelic experience, you
I
realize.
was going to say, if anyone out there has had a crucifixion, I was like,
Hype me up.
Jesus, is she gone? Fuck.
Jesus,
Who'd
I'm here. Boys want me back. But you understand that at times that reality feels realer than this reality.
Yeah, it's fucked.
And they were saying that, the other one, Patricia Van Winkle, I think it is, or something like that. She said that the crucifixion, if that reality felt realer than what actually happens, she's like, this guy is the second coming of Jesus. And they were like, he felt so in control. Apparently he only pretended, they were saying, to take acid, and then he'd have them all.
Yeah, I forgot about that. Yeah.
Which is crazy. Another thing, like when I remember seeing, I saw this a few months ago, I told you that this is crazy, was one my own experience, and two, like a crazy little thing of acid. They used to give acid in the early 50s, about this time in the late 50s, 60s, to just random housewives in the States. And they'd video their reaction. So they'd just give it, and they'd be like 2 or 3 hours later, and they'd come back. And this is purely just like on the news. Imagine going on to RT News and seeing Mary O'Brien. Mary O'Brien down the road. Jesus, like seeing these flowing shapes and everything. And the people would just literally be like, I'm just so in touch with nature. I can see everything flowing. Do you see that over there? Wow. And people obviously at the time were so close-minded to say, what the fuck? Like, what? Like, keep this away from us. But it was quite big at the time. Another thing with me and LSD, just a random one. I never knew what LSD stood for, but it had a dream one time, and it just kept saying over and over in my head. I'm gonna probably butcher the name now, but I think it's lysergic acid diethylamine, which is like LSD.
Yeah.
And that's a chemical name. Not
easy to just whip out.
Yeah, and I remember like, fuck, alright, so I wrote it down on my board, and I was like, that's how I'd
The
probably
spelling and all?
Yeah. Because like I've heard of a lot of compounds
yeah.
and stuff, so dead on, and it's spelling and that. I looked it up, I was like, fuck off. And I remember I told you the next day, I was like, that's so fucking weird.
Yeah.
Don't know how to segues into this, but
No, but that is fucked up, like, in fairness.
It's interesting, isn't it?
Like, dreams are another thing we definitely discuss.
Yeah,
as
and
well.
we can discuss in detail.
Yeah, dreams are have you ever had any dreams that come true? Bar meeting me.
I definitely have them. I just like sometimes I actually remember posts. Like it's like a weird deja vu.
Yeah, I believe
always think
deja vu is because you've dreamt it. That's my own
that's
personal
kind of
belief.
what
Yeah.
I think as well. I definitely think so. Which is so weird, but yeah, like it's what basically like hallucinogenics is fucking. We could talk about that again, and we will in
Yes.
detail. But the fact that Manson used these is so interesting.
Yeah,
because,
and I love that he fake taking them.
and surely he's the first person to ever do this.
But yeah, has to be. Yeah, definitely.
And I mean, you said what he collected over maybe 100 people.
Yeah,
close to
that was the
100 people,
peak.
probably?
Yeah, which is madness when you think about it. Like 100 lads.
Yeah, so like, that's it.
Your dream.
But so it got to the stage when before the murders were committed, where Manson was kind of actually getting angsty, right?
Yeah, yeah.
And then he kind of just put Weston, your man, in charge, and then these happened over 2 nights. So I
Yeah.
guess like get a little bit into the first murder. You probably know a little bit more
Yeah.
detail.
So fucking rock.
This is your material to get off to.
Yeah, exactly. This is literally part of the wank bank.
Disgusting.
But no, the Tate murders were fairly melody, to be fair, because she was like she was 8.5 months pregnant, and so the lads rolled up to the gaff and broke in and just absolutely mashed them all. Do you know what I mean? And like hung your one up and all, like, and like cut her in the abdomen and all, like that.
Jesus.
Like there's pictures and all online, like.
Didn't they then use her blood to draw on the
Yeah,
walls?
they were writing fucking Helter Skelter, fucking Race War, all this mad cryptic shit. But the Garda, when they showed up, they were just like, we've never seen anything like this before at all. Like, they were thinking, Jesus, like, do we have like some kind of mad, like, goddamn criminal mastermind on our hands?
Yeah.
Now, do you know what I mean? Because the previous night, the lads were running as well, the Labiancas. And yeah, it must have been a crowd. Because do you know the whole thing was as well, like, that destroyed the hippie movement more or less, because after that, like, because they found it fairly sharpish actually that Manson and the lads were behind it, because I think Tex got pulled over, and he got brought in.
Yeah.
Go on,
I
yeah.
think one young one as well, one of the
Yeah.
family members got
Something
indicted for
unrelated,
else.
basically.
They actually got pulled up twice that week and a few following weeks about the whole family about some like auto
Yeah,
theft.
yeah, that's it. Yeah, something totally
Is that
unrelated.
what you're thinking about?
Yeah,
That's
and
what
then
must be-
that's the police basically just managed to squeeze it out of them more or less that they were involved. But and then the trial is another thing altogether. Like, fucking
Yes.
that went on for ages. Now, the foot, you actually should definitely check the
Oh
footage
yeah,
online
you
of the
need to.
trial.
Like, I'm not even too familiar with this. From what I have seen, essentially Manson just gives the 3 girls scripts every single day to go in, and there's days when one of the days, which is
Yeah.
probably the most one that sticks on my memory, is he carves an X.
Oh yeah. Which
Into-
actually he turned into a Nazi sign. In
Which he
later
did,
life.
yes.
Yeah.
Which is like right in between his eyes,
Yeah.
right between his eyes. He got the girls to draw an X in their head, carve an X in their head, and they'd walk in singing songs that he wrote for them.
Yeah.
It was this theatrical thing.
It's fucked, isn't it?
He wanted to be his own defense attorney as well, but he
Yeah.
wasn't. He was denied that a
Denied
few
that,
times.
yeah. It's crazy. Like, it's actually such a circus. Like, when you watch the footage back of the trial,
And the
it's
whole
madness.
family are just like laughing.
Yeah,
They're outside and
it's
they're
really
like,
weird. Like, it's like something of American Horror Story or something. Like, do you know what I mean?
It's so creepy.
Yeah, it's very creepy, and like,
What I just can't get over is the fact that how can somebody indoctrinate somebody else to justify killing an innocent person? That's crazy.
yeah, and because you know the families of the family members, like that's what you call them, the Manson family, were the cult. Like, they were like, just obviously be devastated that your mother, your son or daughter has joined such a fucking bizarre cause, but they were like, we didn't see it coming because they were just normal girls, normal blokes. This is completely random.
Do you think this
and
could happen today in 2019?
I'm such a weirdo when it comes to like the modern age. I'm always like, no, that'd never happen because we're way too copped on. But then I think we're weird in other ways. I think the world is fucked like in many other ways. But I just
But like, not like you
Yeah.
see things like weird ones for conspiracy theories, but you see some outlandish conspiracy theories like really getting like mainstream attention and people really bought into it. And you're like, are we?
yeah, like,
Do we think we're like way more copped on than we are?
yeah, I don't know. Like, I'd find it very hard for someone to rise to power, shall we say, although it was a pretty small scale, like Charles Manson. And then again, though, would I? Probably not. It wouldn't happen in Ireland anyway, to be fair.
Hey, we're hoping to have a cult following.
Yeah, 100%, yeah. But the lads are going to have a major cult following.
Yes.
And we're going to just plan an attack and do fucking Bertie Ahern or something.
Dear.
Do him
That's
and
a
us.
recession, pal. You.
But yeah, no,
Take
it's
your nama.
fucking, it's mad. I don't think like you'd have another Charles Manson, not in Ireland anyway.
No.
'Cause, like, in fairness, Americans are off the fucking wagon altogether, aren't they? Like,
Yeah,
I could definitely see something like that happening again over there.
Really?
Yeah, did you ever actually, I forget his name now, but one of the biggest cult things ever,
Like the Jonestown thing.
Yeah, the Jonestown thing.
Kool-Aid.
Yeah.
Oh, what's his name?
What's his
Fuck,
fucking
how is
name?
that ludinous?
Because that's the most famous one ever.
Yeah, so what was that about?
Yeah, so he basically had like an entire cult on an island, I believe. If it wasn't an island, it was definitely in some fucking secluded area anyway. And I watched a documentary on it about like 6-7 months ago. Actually, there's a great film on it on YouTube.
It was in Guyana.
Yeah, if you just Google Jonestown film, it's free on YouTube, and it talks about this guy, and he like literally there was no communication whatsoever with the outside world. And Jim Jones, and the thing about it, it was like a mad PR thing as well, because he'd allow media to record bits and bobs of it, but the on the surface level, it was like this paradise basically. Like, you know what I mean? Anyone looking in, it was like literally like the Holy Kingdom pretty much, but on the inside it was fucked up. Like,
and then it eventually led to a mass suicide, which is ridiculous. That's where the saying like drink the Kool-Aid comes from, right? It's
is that it?
Yeah, I think so.
No way.
They and then they died.
Interesting.
They drank this elixir or something. I think that's what it was. Yeah.
Yeah, no, that
I have to fact check that, but I think that's what it was.
Yeah, but the packed suicide thing is mad, because it was like 400 to 500 people or something outrageous,
which is
like that, wasn't
crazy. It? Like how. But that means like that. This has happened so many times where we have cult leaders. I definitely think we could get into this again, just talking about cult leaders.
Definitely.
And I'm really interested in how the fuck people.
I was like you and the lad cult leader that night in Amsterdam. Wasn't I?
That night. Should we tell him about that?
Fuck it, yeah, I suppose we will. Yeah, myself and young Danielle and a number of friends were in Amsterdam recently on an excursion of sorts, and Jesus, it was a fucking mad time, wasn't it? Jesus. Yeah, so we literally went over
for a few days.
Had a few. So look, the purpose of the trip, to be honest with you, was for the trip, the truffles, right? We stayed in an Airbnb hosted by a glorious host named
who we have to name.
We have to name him because he's absolutely central to the story. Edwin, right?
EWI.
You're smiling away because where this goes, right? So the way the trip was kind of orchestrated, we were all arriving on different times. So Danny was coming from Italy with Dylan, so he was coming at a different time, but me and the lads were on our way over. And I was like to one of the lads, Ryan, I was like, what's your man's name? Edwin. And I just nicknamed him for the crack. Nicknamed us Edwin's Angels.
Chat, you just called
the group
Edwin's
chat
Angels.
Was called Edwin's Angels, yeah.
This is a ridiculous story.
I know, it's actually sounds so stupid like when you say it out loud, but when you're actually involved in it, you just think it's funny at the time.
It's fucked.
But anyway, so off we went. We met young Edwin, lovely fella. And by the way, that Airbnb was so strange because you only stay in an Airbnb. Usually, it's some affluent cunt who has like a second gaff.
Yeah, it's
so
just like a landlord renting out.
Yeah, it's a shell of a house. Like well, I mean, it's designed to be stayed in by tourists.
It's not too homely.
Yeah, this gaff was like
his gaff.
This was Edwin's gaff. Irrefutably, pictures of his kids. Fucking, I was staying in the son's room. A fucking C3PO wallpaper and all. VR headset. Beano comics. Like, this was irrefutably like lived in.
If just like
all the
side like point I need to put in here, if you haven't used a VR headset, if you haven't engaged in I don't know what we'll call it,
VR masturbation, it's a must. Anyways, we'll crack away. Jules, or whatever the son's name was, has no idea that while he was away that VR headset got such a scene to.
Only by myself. Nobody else would.
I would not partake.
They wouldn't touch it after all.
Honestly, couldn't see how it. Cloudy white.
But this, he literally just up and left for the weekend.
Lovely gaff.
He was like, the food was all there. It was literally as if we were just staying in his house as like family guests, and he said you can have whatever you want. It was so nice.
Gent, isn't he?
It was right in the canal now. Yeah.
So we were there for 4 days, I believe, and the whole question alluded to lads, when are the truffles gonna get down? Remember, we were like, we do it tonight, we do it tomorrow, blah blah. Settled on doing it on a Sunday night, I believe, wasn't it?
I think it was a Sunday, yeah.
Sunday leading into Monday. So off we went, got the truffles, and these madmen, like I was quite cautious, even though I've done them before. I was like, oh, I don't know, and they were like, we're getting the most,
of course,
strongest truffles.
Yeah.
It was like the Atlanteans or something, what they called, like
Hawaiians.
Yeah, no, already.
Yeah, I think so. Whatever the strongest ones you can get in Amsterdam, or whatever.
Exactly. Yeah. So you can buy them in a packet, basically in a shop.
If you've done psychedelics before, like you know, they're not stupidly strong, but if you have a low tolerance for drugs, they will catapult you. They will fuck you up.
But like I did truffles first time like a year and a half ago, and I did the lightest ones, and I did half a box, right, and I was flying after that. So I'll be honest, when you and the lads were like, because there's 5 basically strains of the truffles, and so bear in mind I bought the 4th strain, which is the lowest one. So when you were like, oh, we got the 5th strain, I was like, oh god, this is a 5x jump to what I'm used to. And not to mention the box was actually bigger as well. So
Yeah,
you
bigger
were
box.
splitting them,
Yeah,
right?
yeah.
So I was actually a bit nervous. I was like, oh,
But they do
Jesus.
say as well, I think
Yeah.
it's for the truffles, it's between 5 to 7.5 grams for a moderate trip. About 10 grams you're bordering on like
Yeah.
and then or
Yeah.
anything over that you should probably do
Yeah.
unless you're really experienced. Now we shared a 22-gram box. We ended up
Big
probably
time.
having close to
Yeah,
13,
we had more
14,
actually.
about 14 grams
Yeah,
each.
Ryan got a full box himself there.
Yeah, we had about 14 grams each,
Yeah.
which is like a good
Yeah.
amount. And
But to get back to the story with Edwin, actually, because
Yes.
the protection ceremony is where we need to
we
be
need
with
to
this
really
one.
start
Yeah.
here, yeah.
So young Danielle beside me here was like, okay, we'll get a few little rituals on the go before we kick off. Took off your shoes and all, you grounded yourself to the earth outside. Which, by the way, Edwin's gaff was lovely because it was on a canal and there was like a little field thing beside it, or little like just like nature was just hovering around the gaff. It was deadly. And so we go outside, shoes off, ground ourselves to the earth, and we come back in, and we were like, and I was saying to the lads, I was like, actually, lads, before we kick off,
great shit, by the way.
Yeah, I
I'd
was
recommend this to anyone doing any psychedelic experience.
100%, yeah, because I, do you know what, this wasn't like an original idea. When I went to see that past life regressionist we spoke of in the earlier episodes,
Yeah.
she randomly talked about plant medicine. It was the weirdest thing ever. And she said to me that if you're ever doing any form of plant medicine, make sure you like kind of not bless yourself, but like she was take measures to make sure that things you're protected, blah blah blah,
Yeah.
right?
Now we know this sounds outlandish, by the way, but what we felt, and Gary's gonna explain it in a second, was so real.
Magical.
Magic.
Wasn't it? Yeah, genuine. So all 5 lads standing around having a little circle jerk, right? And
Now, wait, just say literally interlocking hands. Now this is
Yeah.
sounds like something that we're talking about cults here. Maybe we're in a cult.
yeah, well, that's what I was saying. You were
Yeah.
you were the O'Neill family
Yeah.
in Amsterdam. So we're all interlocking hands, oi 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 oi, and we're literally we're just talking out loud to our higher selves. We're like, look, lads, we're about to embark on a bit of a journey. Make sure we're safe. Make sure nothing kicks off that's too outrageous,
Just
and we're guide us, blah blah blah. And we all
we had this
mutually-
affirmation, remember?
Yeah, we had a little affirmation. Come on, yeah.
Do you remember exactly what it was? It was like just keep us safe
Keep
and
us
guide us, or
safe.
something like that.
Yeah.
Now, this sounds crazy, and you're like, Jesus. We said this, and then we literally all said it together in 3. And then what did you feel?
And like we all felt at the same time, but I felt it was like just a weird energy. It was like, things are going to be good, lads. Don't be worried about it. Like,
Yeah.
you know, things are going to be all
It was
G.
like everything kind of went cold for a second,
Yeah.
like a little shiver, but it was a really like nice sensation.
Yeah, exactly.
And then we let our hands go, and then we just like, right, cool, let's go.
Let's kick
Let's
off.
go over. Now, it isn't a very like sexy thing taking truffles.
Yeah.
If you don't, they taste like walnuts. If you don't like nuts, which I know Gary definitely does,
Flat out.
they're not tasty. You just kind of shovel them down.
Yeah.
We started off, and then I guess, yeah, this is where this real.
Do you know what I thought was funny, right? That we arranged the gaff that we were going to have this mad group communal experience, because it was like this really large sofa that like there was 5 of us there. It was like one of those sofas that kind of like doubled up as a bed. So we stretched the thing out, and we had aspiration, shall we say, to trip together, all the lads, right? We had like daily visuals on the TV, daily music and all on, right? And it was so funny to just watch the entire squad, shall we say, just disperse.
We just dispersed.
Yeah,
Went on our own
I was
separate trips.
sorry, you and Ryan were the first ones. I know, I think you were actually.
I had a little
yeah,
corner
you
to- I
went
was
into the
meditating,
kitchen
yeah.
and you had that mad little corner bed
Just
thing,
was
right?
drawn
And
to
you
it,
just
yeah.
sat there, and then Ryan was over to you, then Dylan as well, and then
Yeah.
I just got really drawn to going out onto. We had a
Yeah.
decking which was daily, which was like a canal thing. So I went out onto the decking. And sitting there anyway, and it was like mad shit. Like, I kept seeing sparrows flying around me, and they definitely weren't real, because Kane and another lads with us was like couldn't see them at the start, but you couldn't actually see them flying from point A to
Yeah, so you
point
could
B.
see them in intermediate.
Yeah, they literally just appear within your vision, like, and just disappear. It was deadly, it was. But fucking to move on to where the story's gone anyway, we were all just tripped out on nut.
We had like, yeah, we had our introspective self kind of
Yeah.
deep dive, and then.
It just got so outrageous with the J, didn't it?
But what happened
Yeah.
before that? I in my head
Yeah.
was like, I'd really like a joint now. This would be class. And then
But you was talking about that.
No,
To this day, I honestly think you're messing.
this is crazy. I actually mentioned it to. I said it in my head and mentioned it to, I think it was Ryan.
Yeah.
And then you come around the corner saying, "Oh lads, you smoked a joint."
Like, shortly, like, but after you said it.
It was like the same time. It was
Okay,
weird.
that's even weirder
It's
then, right?
weird, man.
I'm actually loving that we're just discovering this now, right?
Yeah, this is so
because
weird.
I was on. So everyone, when I was on the canal thing, I came back in.
You were lying inside of
And
this,
then
I
I went back to the sofa where we originally all were sprawled out, and nobody else was there, just me, right? And then all the visuals were on the telly, and it was fucking deadly, and it was just whopper, like having some great insights. And then I 100% heard a storyline playing out within the lads who were just a couple of feet away from me at the kitchen, and I heard them saying that will we spark up the J now?
At this time, I hadn't said anything.
Yeah, like
In
this
my
was
head,
ages.
in my head, I was like, I'd like some.
Yeah.
I'd like to really smoke a joint. And if you know anything, you don't really mix substances.
Definitely not. Yeah. So I'm sitting there, so I'm lying down, and I hear literally a conversation playing out between you, Ryan, and the lads, and you're like, will we smoke a J now with this? And I remember thinking, because I did a bit of reading a couple of weeks beforehand, and it said something about, because, you know, magic mushrooms from nature, obviously.
Plant
and
medicines, plant medicines, yeah.
It was like combining the plants can be interesting, to say the least.
We'll say the least, yeah.
So I remember thinking to me, oh, that's cool the way the lads are, you know, going down that path.
Yeah.
And they're about to spark up a J. I'll leave them to it because I'm not really up for partaking. And then I genuinely, because that was about an hour, I'd say, before any of this kicked off. And so I was just in my own head down for an hour, tripping like fuck. And then eventually, when I moved off the chair and came back an hour later, I popped over to you and I was like, oh, remember I goes, how was your J earlier?
Yeah, I'm like, I was like in shock. I'm like, what do you mean?
And I was like, did you not have a J earlier? And you were like, no. And I was like, fuck off, wait me lads. Like, I 100% heard, not just... if it was just one thing, I'd write it off as just my imagination, but I heard a full conversation where, like, and I actually even heard he was rolling it because the little grinder and all, it was madness. It was
crazy.
Like, so I just took that as destiny. I was like, well, we have a J, and they were like, yeah, let's do it. And what ensued then, I wouldn't actually recommend it in a way. To be honest with you.
I really would. You? If you're in a group, I think it will draw you together. I think we have a special connection after that trip.
Well, we'll definitely get to why we do at the end.
But we went outside, we had that, and to say our trip went from that we'll say low Earth orbit, and we when we came inside after that, Jay, we got put into the cosmos. I
remember I said it that one when you were rolling it. I was like, lads, I have a feeling that this is going to absolutely rocket us off into the cosmos.
And it did.
And I kept saying that line over again. I was like, lads, I think we're going to be, we're going to blow off. It was really funny because
we started off taking the mushrooms, all lying down on this massive couch, 5 of us fitting on to it. Then we spread out, and then after this joint, where do we return back to?
The couch.
We were all on the couch.
Yeah, but do you know what? It was scary because it was like pre-joint. I remember we had those timelines, right? Like PJ, BC, like before Christ and after Christ. We had our own like fucking timelines. So PJ and AJ, right? Yeah. So PJ, I remember going like, geez, like this is actually a nice little trip. Like I can actually control it. Like when it gets a bit too insane, I'm able to just bring myself back to base camp. But AJ, oh holy Jesus, when that J got introduced into the fucking dynamic, it was hell on earth in some ways.
Yes,
yeah.
It was ridiculous.
So we're smoking away, and I went out into the canal to have my smoke, and Sam McKean, you stayed inside, and then we all went back to the couch. And it was just mayhem, mate. It was crazy. So we would literally... I can't tell you where I was, because to this day I don't know. We were just in the cosmos, and randomly, intermittently, we would all return. Yes. And what I thought was so beautiful was we would all return from our respective trips at the same time. And we'd all just look at each other like we were like, whoa, where the fuck were you? And same. And then we would all just keep springing back out into the cosmos and coming back in, and but like at such a rate that like it was just too hard to even comprehend. But then this is where the story gets fucking comical, right? So where we were sitting on the sofa, there was up the very top of the room, a few fucking meters above us, was this mad little Aztec statue.
No joke, this little Aztec, little weird orange looking plush toy.
Exactly what you'd kind of like associate with psychedelics, like all that mad Aztec imagery and all. Do you know what I mean? Like all that like geometric shit like that you hear about with ayahuasca and all, right? And I said something along the lines of, I was like, lads, that thing up there, like imagine I had a camera in, and imagine this was just all Edmund's plan. Imagine he just brings people to his Airbnb, records him getting fucked up and just laughs his head off, right? And then
myself, and then which bit now are you talking about specifically? Yes, so I just peeked my right hand side and I see a folder, and I don't know why this was so funny at the time, but this literally had us in stitches. And
go for it. I don't know, I'm ready.
It just said Edwin, and I was like, right, Edwin. And I was sitting there in my head, and I was like, what the hell? I was like, he's not called Ed Lewis, he's called Edwin.
Yeah, because you were like, I guess that's why they call him Edwin and not Ed Lewis. Lads, when I say to you that all 5 of us broke into an absolute manic laughter purge, I do not say it lightly. I mean, it was truly and utterly terrifying. Like, we were bawling.
I got to the stage where I couldn't speak.
Yeah, and the whole thing of it, like, as I spoke a few minutes ago of drifting in and out of the cosmos, take what I just said previously and then compound it with the laughter purge, yeah? So we were laughing our fucking nut off, drifting into the cosmos, not having any recollection of real-time laughing, and then we only returned back. Like, I always say this because it felt like about 5 or 6 times we were laughing to the Edwin Ed Lewis thing, right? Before I touched my eyes. And when I touched my eyes...
Oh,
mate,
we were all tears.
Mate, my hands were absolutely
saturated.
soaking from laughing with such intensity. Me fucking abs, you talk about 6 minute abs, like Jesus Christ. I was like a great cheese off these things.
Yeah,
do you know what I mean?
this was 6 lifetimes.
I was in a heap, and I'd look to me right, see ourselves and Ryan and all, and the same story, we'd just be laughing our heads off this stupid Edwin Ed Lewis thing. And then we would finally cop ourselves on, and Ryan was the funniest at this, because Ryan would just be like trying to like comprehend what was going on, and just be like,
And Ryan looked like a heroin addict at this stage.
he was fucked. He would be like, lads, how many Edwin Ed Lewis has that been? And like, I only remember it being about 8 or 9 when he said that. Like, when I finally was like, Jesus, actually, I think this is about the 9th time we have like completely lost our shit in this laughter purge to this Edwin Ed Lewis thing. And then we would just laugh all over again. It was basically a cycle. We were caught in loop, laughing and laughing.
And we felt like we were caught in a time loop.
Oh, don't talk to me with the crisps. So that was one of the most terrifying things ever, right? So, fair play to Ryan. I think, or maybe it was you, but it was like, we need to get food into us to sober us up ASAP, because this is getting too outrageous, yeah?
We couldn't control it.
Couldn't control it. So one of you come back with one of the largest like bags of Doritos I've ever seen.
I got these, like sweet chili
exactly.
Doritos.
So you start passing them around and eating away. Didn't think anything of it. I'd eat a few, pass them on to Ryan. He'd eat a few.
We literally just pass it on.
Ryan would be shoveling them into him because he has a huge hand on it. Right?
Ryan has a fucking
huge hand. So he's shoveling them into him at this stage. So I was thinking like, this bag would be gone in no time with him, right? And so by the time the bag gets back around to you, you looked in it and you were like, lads, this bag isn't emptying. And to say cold sweats ran down my fucking face is an understatement. I didn't think you were real at this stage. I was thinking, okay, the lads aren't real. This is like, I'm stuck on a time loop, me personally. Yeah. And
you were freaking
just
out.
Actors, basically.
You were freaking out.
Yeah, I was like, oh, don't say this to me, lads, please. No. The crisps get around to me, and I put my hands in, and then I'm taking I'm shoveling the crisps into me, and sure enough, they are not emptying. This bag of crisps was like basically infinity bag, right? Yeah. I would take crisps out, eat.
I wish I had a bag of chow like this.
Oh, stop, yeah. And I passed them on to Ryan. I'm like, Ryan, you have huge hands. Hoover them into you, will you? Quick, hoover them into you. He's doing it, gets around to you. And you're taking loads of crisps, looking into it, and you look back at like the group, cold shivers again, going, lads, they're not empty. They get back around to me, and I'd be like, oh, bollocks. I'm eating the crisps. They are still not emptying. It was truly terrifying, lads, wasn't it?
It was awful.
And then eventually, I landed back on me, do you remember?
Yeah,
and I was the one to bring order to it.
Yeah.
I literally finished the last few crisps, but I was as shocked as anyone. I was just like, I cannot believe this bag is officially empty. I was looking down at it with just tears running down my face. I was like, jeez, thank fuck I'm not caught in the time loop. Because there was a few stages, mate, where I thought I was losing my mind, if I'm being honest. Like, without doubt, like, do you know what I mean?
No, what's crazy is, even let's just say, like, whatever, this probably bag went around like if you had a camera on us maybe 10 times. Yeah. But the fact is, in that moment, we felt like we were stuck in a time loop. Yeah. And after that, we actually broke free, and we kind of like, we were like, okay, we're having a little bit more control of this. So I went for a little walk. I think Dylan was outside or something, and I just randomly went into Google and I searched Edwin. I searched Edwin, and I was like, Edwin, I wonder what that name means. That's really interesting. And then I clicked on Wikipedia, and Wikipedia gives you like the origins of the name, what it means. And I looked, and I was like, fuck.
Your delivery of this was so outrageous, I'll never forget it.
And I walk over to the lads, and they're just there, and I was like, lads, like, I'm proper shitting myself. Yeah. I'm like, I just looked up what Edwin means on Google, and they all just perk up.
Like lemurs just poking their heads up from the sofas.
Like little meerkats. I'm like, it means blessed friend. And to say we're like, no. Yeah, no.
That was the end of it. That was like, okay, I'm officially caught in a dream again. This is too coincidental. Yes. This is not real. And the blessed son thing just rocked the lads, because I was thinking, oh my god. Then I was like, lads, do you reckon Edwin was the presence we felt in the protection ceremony earlier?
Like,
not only that, is Edwin even real? Maybe we only have just created this Edwin character on this trip, and the actual Airbnb owner is a fella called, I don't know, John or something, whatever. And like, we fully started to believe that Edwin was like basically a fucking figment of like our trip, like, do you know what I mean?
And yeah, I think there's one more thing to kind of end this on. That's
yeah, the
craziest part of it, I think, and it was we were all just lying down, and Ryan has fallen asleep at this stage.
Shocking.
And Ryan needed to fall asleep for this to happen. and we are all in a specific order, and I think you instigated this, didn't you?
Yeah, I don't know how or why or what possessed me to say.
There's 5 of us.
Yeah, there's 5 of us and there's 5 letters in Edwin. How ridiculous is that?
Yeah.
And I was like, quick lads, we'll all be a letter each, and let's just say the first words
one,
that
yeah.
comes. So I was E, was I?
Yeah.
And I was like energy, and then
I think it was Keen, was it?
yeah, Kane was D, and he said desire.
Yeah, and then I
you,
was W, and I said worship.
Yeah.
And then Dylan was I, and he said intelligence. And then Ryan was asleep, and he was N. And we all just looked at him, and we came back, and we were just like, nothing.
All of us said nothingness at the same time.
At the same time.
It was scary.
Crazy. And we're just thinking about that, like, what's that mean? Energy, desire, worship, like intelligence, nothing. And we came to this weird realization that, isn't that in essence the 5 like stages of consciousness? I know that's very abstract, but bear with us. It all starts with energy, because the universe is just purely energy. And then it's a desire to take that energy and manifest something with it. And then what does that become? You begin to worship the energy. We'll call it godlike state. Yeah. And then you integrate with it.
Yeah.
And this is where you get the state of intelligence.
Yeah.
And then what happens after that?
You die. Nothingness. It was. And like obviously you're very, like when you're on this trip, like you're very suggestible. Do you know what I mean? Of course. Like, but like I like it. Do you know what I mean? But to be honest, it was like, it's so crazy like that. It's like, to be honest, it's not like we just dreamt up a load of bollocks. Like there was actually a bit of method to the madness in a way.
There was, yeah.
Do you know what I mean?
And like we kind of like came back when we were sober and said, like, these things happened. Like the fact that like Edwin, we call Edwin's angels, and like that we then had this ceremony, you felt that. Like, look, whatever it is, blessed say friend. We felt nothing, and then blessed friend. That's really odd, and to this day I feel like it was like
a defining moment.
It really was,
wasn't it? Like it really was so beautiful. Like in hindsight, and although I was shitting at the time because like it was hard to control it, like in hindsight, like we came out of that trip better people. Like it was deadly, wasn't it?
Oh, we got some crazy perspective.
Yeah. Oh, stop. Like, do you remember with the Airbnb review? I was like with Edwin, right? I was saying to Ryan, because Ryan booked the Airbnb for us, I was saying you need to leave him a review that's so abstract but like relative to our experience, but use, like when you're saying there's shit in the review, write like any tourist reading the review would think you're just talking about your experience, but
we're actually going to talk about Edwin and how he guided our trip.
So like the fucking review at the end was like, Edwin was there for us when we really needed him.
He helped guide us.
Helped guide, a fantastic fucking host, and provided a safe protective environment and all. It was fucking hysterical. Most people reading that would be like, oh, weird, but alright. But like we know exactly what it means. But we just want to take this second to just acknowledge Edwin and his role in guiding the lads through the abyss at times in that fucking trip.
Yeah, and if you have went on to any psychedelic experience yourself, you understand how profound they can be. And I'm not one to encourage people, but I hope to open minds to big anyone time. Who hasn't done any psychedelic drugs.
But I think that this
just,
podcast
just learn about it, or just learn a little bit about it, because actually the book we know about psychedelics versus the book about things we don't know, it's completely crazy. We know nothing about psychedelics and what they affect our brain, and all neuroscientists around the world and all leading psychologists, psychiatrists, it's now coming to the forefront, but they're like, what the fuck are these things?
Even like, you know, Dennis McKenna and all, like, and who be like the fucking shamans of the mushroom game. Like, they've said that I know Terrence is no longer with us, RIP, but Dennis was saying that he's like the way Connor jokes, like he's a white belt basically when it comes to psychedelics, even though he has done them probably more than anyone. You know what I mean?
Yeah, crazy.
So it's absolutely fascinating the insights you can get from them, and how much, like, even like, we'll definitely do an episode that's specifically designated towards psilocybin and
I think
the depression
we should like, even though we're not that experienced, I think we can also do an episode, you know, helping people, what we think the steps are getting people to. I think that'll be a really good episode to get into their first psychedelic experience.
100%,
because it's something you need to kind of be prepared for. I think there's so many things you can do to kind of open yourself up to it. And really kind of get the most benefits from it. Because if you're going over there to, like, let's say, because Amsterdam is it's legal, and you're just going over for a party experience, you can get that from psychedelics. Like with any drug you can kind of get whatever experience you want from it. You know what I mean?
Setting.
It is. It's so true, and we will happily help people with this. And if anyone, Rick, reach out.
Absolutely. So I suppose that's a beautiful note to end on. That was actually a fucking very fun one, wasn't it?
Yeah, it's more personal. I like it.
100%.
Get a bit of insight into our fucked up lives.
Yeah, absolutely. Hope you enjoyed the Amsterdam story.
Yes, and also Manson, and how probably we have a worse cult than Manson run by. So we have got Manson 2 over here. Gary
absolutely,
O'Neill, the Gone. But yes, as always, hey, if you enjoyed this, what you have to do, give us a little
Like, share, subscribe.
yes, and please do not hesitate.
Tell your friends.
Tell your friends. Give us a review. We'll be very happy.
Boom.
Uns.